At long last and after many requests, we finally present Beef Wellington. Sort of. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Okay, well, there's two things wrong with that statement. One is that I'm Jewish, and we don't say that. And two is, I haven't really sinned. I might be about to sin. No, that's not even true. Look, I'm going to make a Beef Wellington, but my version of it. And full disclosure, I have not made a Beef Wellington before. Look, there are those that say it's one hard-ass thing to accomplish. There are those that say, oh, it's a piece of cake. So I'm going to do it, but I'm going to change it. And yes, people will be pissed or they will be rejoicing because it's a fun, playful version. I'm going to kind of stick to the basics, but change up a couple things. Is that cool? Should be cool. Look, first things first, shall we? Traditional Beef Wellington is done with a Chateaubriand, which is a beef tenderloin, but the center cut, the perfect, beautiful centerpiece about that big. It's steak, and it's good, but tenderloin, not my favorite cut. My favorite cut is, stand by, is a ribeye. And in this case, a big ass giant Tomahawk ribeye. Look, it's thick, it's delicious, it's beef. Who says you can't Beef Wellingtonize this? Why I gotta be the same as everybody else? I don't. I just realized that.
That steak really works with the carnivore shirt right now.
It does, doesn't it? This should be the picture. You know what it is? It's that, who's that, Jelly? Who's that, that artist that did The Farmer with his wife outside the...
Oh.
Who's that?
I know you're... Oh, is that Rockwell?
Yes. Is that Rockwell?
Norman Rockwell?
That sounds right.
Sounds right, you know? So instead of a pitchfork, I've got this. And they're super stoic. We start by... I smelled something burning. Oh, wait, what is that? Oh, perfect timing. We're 2 minutes into the segment, and there's freaking gardeners right there using the loudest thing known to man, a weed whacker. Do we continue? You okay? I have to sear this. I'm gonna sear this on the Evo. I could use oil and or butter, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna use bacon fat. Do I need to yell that loud? Probably not. I'm gonna use bacon fat because I can and I have it. Looks like this, wait. So whenever I make bacon, I take the bacon grease in the pan and I put it through like a paper towel strainer thing to get the little bits out, and I'm just left with pure bacon fat, which is lovely. And for our purposes today, will be what we sear this big steak in. So we'll put some on the Evo, the fat, the gorgeousness. We'll put on, oh, gone, and this goes on. And our goal really is not to cook it, it's just to get color on all sides, because color now will translate into flavor later. So it's been, what, 10 seconds? That's how it looks. We want a nice golden color, so we can push down. Oh, yeah, it's hot. A little bit more, and then we'll do it on the other side. And turn it over. That's what we're looking for. That's gonna be fantastic. So we'll get the other side done. Then we get the edges all the way around. Like that. And when it's where you want it, off it comes. Okay, at this point, we want to do something before it cools down too much. And that's brush it with a little mustard. The traditional mustard is Dijon. but I like to change things. So I'm using a combination of Dijon and horseradish, which you can mix yourself, or you can buy it already done. Get some on your brush, and on we go, both sides. Another layer of flavor, which is why we're doing this. Of course, you want the sides all the way. And then the bottom, which has now become the top. A little bit more. And now we just take this, we set it aside, and we leave it to cool. Next up, a layer of mushrooms for this. It's a traditional component. Mushrooms that are either super finely chopped by hand or in a processor called the duxelles. It's a silly word. It's a French word. I did not just call the French silly. I just said in English, for us, it's a silly word. Don't hate me. So what I have is I have these baby portobello's creminis that I'm just gonna put in here. Small ones I'll throw in, big ones I'll bust in half or quarters or thirds or whatever. And then all these guys go in. They get a quick blitz. Then we'll add a couple other things. We'll add some yellow onion, chopped up. Very nice. We'll have 3 big cloves of garlic. Very nice. We add some fresh thyme. Beautiful, gorgeous fresh thyme. Big pinch of salt and pepper. Lovely. And then one last thing. See what those are? No, they're not little mini brains. These are white truffles that my friend John, spelled J-O-N. Here's our poll question. How many Johns do you know that are only J-O-N, not J-O-H-N? Whatever. My friend John brought me back from Croatia. Haven't used them yet, been dying to. Sorry, my finger condom is problematic. Brought them back from Croatia. Here's the thing. A little bit of truffle is freaking amazing. A little bit too much is horrid. So watch, this could be a 1/4 teaspoon. Oh boy, maybe a half. Okay, so we're good? We're good. Oh, here's my lid. We put the lid on. Everything gets completely whizzed until it's a paste. So along the way with super dry stuff, you're gonna have to stop, kind of push it down a bit, and keep going. And when it looks like this, we throw it in a pan. But before I put it on, I want you to notice one thing. Look right inside here. You see this? You can almost see the moisture in this. Like mushrooms have a lot of water, a high water content, and that is not going to be our friend in this. So the point of putting them in the pan is to cook out the water, right? So in they go. And before it goes in the pan, it gets just a quick little shot of oil, and then the mushrooms. Spread it out. The bigger the pan, the faster it'll start to give off its moisture and dry up. Now it's probably going to take you maybe even 15 minutes to get it to the point where it's dry enough, but just let it do its thing, come back every so often, give it a little stir, and all will be well. We'll show you what it looks like when it's ready. What's amazing is I'm getting a little hint of truffle oil right here. That's really going to do some great things to this. And when they look like they've dried nicely, starting to look like dry clay, after about 15, 20 minutes, we take it off, we let it cool. The steak has been seared and horseradish mustard and is cool. The mushrooms have been processed with onion, with garlic, with thyme, with a little truffle oil, salt and pepper. have been cooked in a pan until most of the moisture has come out and they're cooling. And now it's time to build. And we start with our puff pastry. And puff pastry comes like this. You get a couple sheets that look like this. They're folded in threes and they're frozen. Frozen. So you need to take them out, you need to let them defrost. But what's important to know is you can't let them be out in the open and defrost for more than about 35, 40 minutes, or they'll stick and they'll just be freaking useless. See that self-control? I almost said f***ing, but I pulled back and I said fricking. And after 30-ish, 35 minutes, they look like this. See? Lovely, gentle, supple, usable. But before we roll this out even bigger, because we have to cover this, I need to roll this out. So I'm going to put some flour on my cutting board, spread it out, or as we say in Canada, spread it out, and on it goes. Now the real question is this: will one of these be enough? Already questioned that. Remember, I haven't made this before, so. Oh boy, I should have taken both out. All right, well, let's try this. I need this to be about half as thick as it is. So we'll roll. Wow, you know, I used to be so opposed to a rolling pin. For some reason, I thought I was like minimalist if I used like a bottle of vodka. But the reality is that shit does not work. This works. All right, let's just lay this on and see. So if it's there, I mean, look, it's almost big enough, right? I need to come up the edges, then I need to come over the top. What do you think? Shall we? Shit, I don't know. Let's go for it. I'm feeling good about this, right? I'm not doing the bone. I'm just gonna go up to the meats. I say, f it, let's go. Let's do this. So I'm just gonna make a mark so I know where my mushrooms have to go. Look at that, okay. And with the gardeners serenading us in the background, we'll take our mushrooms that have cooled that now look like poop. Gotta say, not so attractive looking. It's not about, piss, I f***ed this up.
What?
I gotta put f***ing ham down first. I f***ed up. I forgot a step, my bad. Okay, Max is freaking out about the gardeners. I'm freaking out because I started to put the mushrooms down and I forgot about the pork product, the ham product. In a traditional a Beef Wellington, prosciutto is used. This. Shut up! Hi. This 3-ish pound Tomahawk Ribeye was like 26 bucks. Enough prosciutto to cover this was going to be $25. Like, forget that. Oh my God. So I have chosen instead, wait there, Max, don't show this. Equally thin Black Forest ham. Look, pig is pig. Well, the pigs might not like to hear that, but look, come on, it's thin. It's going to deliver the barrier between the puff pastry and the mushrooms and help keep the moisture, if there's moisture coming out of the mushrooms, from going to the puff pastry and making it a mess. So we lay this down first. A blanket all the way. How did I forget this? So remember, not done this before. Everything has been an experiment all the way through. And that's not just me saying, oh, if it turns out, then I get to be a hero. It's not. If it turns out, it's just good fortune. Okay, now the mushrooms. They'll look like this. Yikes. At some point, the hardcore, I really want to see a Beef Wellington. Shut up! Is it enough already? Why do they have to f***ing gun it? Just let it go. Quit pulling the f***ing trigger. think that did it. He knows how upset I am. He knows I'm working over here hard to give you something that you've asked for that I've never made before. But let's go. Oh, he's toying with me. I fear something bad will happen. So a nice layer. Because when we cut this open, you're going to see if this layer has been nicely set up or if I've just like phoned in my work. And I never want to phone in my work. Okay, I feel good about this. Now the steak. Now more mushroom on the top. Oh boy, I don't know, guys. I don't know what the plan is here for how this is going to work, if it's going to work. I mean, I want to feel good about it, but I have questions. But isn't that what cooking's about? Isn't there a certain amount of exploration involved? Right? Why make the same thing all the time? If you don't try something new, you're boring as. Then you're always making the same thing, and we don't want that. Okay, I'm starting to feel okay about this. Yes, we need more ham involved, and that's going to come any second. Another layer of ham. I feel like a little kid at the beach making something out of sand. Please, let this work. Let this work. Let this work. Let this work. I've been a good boy. I just want to cut this baby open and have it be beautiful. All right, I may be too close to this edge. I don't know. Nothing I can do about it now. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. A couple more rollouts. Give myself as much puff as I can get. And now we have to fold it up. So let's go this way first. This guy will come here. Oh boy, I've got a problem. This guy will come here. Look, I only want it to come to the bone, so I'm okay with that. But now what happens on this side? What do you think? You think we're going to be okay? It looks nice, doesn't it? I feel actually sort of okay about this. Maybe the first time this has been done. So it's traditional, put some beautiful markings on top of a Wellington before you cook it. Decoration, if you will. So allow me to give it my own little decoration, if this will work. How's that?
Good.
Eat me. How's that? Good?
Good.
Now we brush it with a little beaten egg. That'll help it get some beautiful color in the oven. I think one of my favorite parts of this is the bone. Look at it. Okay, it's got the egg. One more thing, a little kosher salt. I just love the way that looks. Oh, and the one thing I forgot, I now have to transfer this to a baking sheet. So hold on, everybody. The whole thing could end right this freaking minute. Put a piece of parchment down. You ready, Max? And oh shoot. Okay. Everybody's all right. And there it is. Okay. We'll put a probe thermometer into it because we want to be exact. Into the middle. We set it for 125 degrees. We put it in the oven at 350. We come back when it's done. Okay, so it's cooked. It took about 35, 40-ish minutes. It's rested, and here it is. Ready? Oh, what? Let me put it down. You get some beautiful shots there, Max. Go ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you maybe the world's first Tomahawk Ribeye Beef Wellington. Look, it's not maybe as gorgeous as some of them, but for me, okay, for me it's fucking badass looking. I love it. That's the way to serve this. It's no more work. It's more anxiety, just this time, because I'd never done it before, but for you, all you have to do is just copy what I did and, okay, we've not cut it open yet, but I have good thoughts about that. And what isn't more impressive when served on a giant ass bone like that? It's like an episode of the Flintstones. Okay, only one thing left to do. Cut it open. Okay, so I think I want to cut like this. Let me just, hello, come on baby. Uh-oh. Stand by. Let me just loosen this. There we go. I'm so nervous. The very first ever in my world, Tomahawk Ribeye Beef Wellington is being cut now. Oh, look. Look at the fattiness. Oh my God. Yes, there's fat because it's a ribeye, but oh, come on. The mushroom, the beef, the bite that this is gonna be. Ready? Oh my God, the smell. Salivating. Oh my God. Okay, look. I've had beef Wellington before, and it was delicious. But it was made with that Chateaubriand, the tenderloin, that is very good and super tender, but it doesn't have the flavor of a ribeye. The idea that we've substituted ribeye for the tenderloin and done all the same things. We've got this layer of the mushrooms in here that have the garlic and the thyme and the onion and oof. Oh my God. Okay, that was a huge bite. One of the greatest things I've ever eaten. I am not shitting you. There is something about a ribeye, something fatty, something extra delicious, something carnivorous that is outstanding. And while I'm wearing the shirt, just know we have a new line of... Did you hear that? It's a fly. We have a new line of Alternative Facts t-shirts that are currently on sale, 20% off?
10%.
10%.
Teespring.
That are currently on sale by Teespring for 10% off. What lovely people the Teespring folks are. But this in my mouth, it's ridiculous. And talk about impressive. Who doesn't like this? I got nothing else. Thank you. Thank you from our hearts for being there, hanging out, watching, liking, whatever. We love that you're there. I gotta eat now. See ya.